Hi again, and welcome back to the lessons again. And before the previous part, we covering the grammatic forms of the articles and the grammar scenes of it. And now we're going to cover some tricks and tactics for the writing essay, which is because we covered like writing task 2 or the opinions or what is needed to do. Now basically we're going to answer some questions if you have, and I will log in now to the screen and I will check if you have any questions. Now basically what we discussed now, the previous one, about the articles and the importance of the articles in case of the writing techniques and writing task 2. Now basically we have two kind of writing, two kind of the exams in IELTS. We have general exam and academic exam. Now, there are differences between general writing and academic writing. For example, the chart flow and the articles technique and the passage techniques itself. So if we need to cover, we have to understand the meaning of the words in the first place. So basically, what we need to know is to cover up as much as possible the meaning and understanding the way how we work. Now, for example, the previous one, we covered up about meaning of some words, as we see it here. A fine, a life imprisonment, an antisocial behavior. And remember, we are using an antisocial behavior. And that's what, a prison sentence, a curfew, or a fine. So basically, we identified with articles. So remember, the reason we study the articles today to understand what is the meaning of the articles, how to use it with the words, and how to cover up with the words. Now, this is the reason we study the grammatic forms of the article. Now, we are back into the field. So welcome back in, folks, to the fold, and we can carry on now with a lot of flexibility, a lot of sequence that we're going to bear with it. And so, the meaning of the words is the most important part here. So let's gear up. First, as we say, what is the mean word of fine, of life imprisonment, or an antisocial behavior order, or capital punishment, or corporal punishment, or community service? All these can cover up with the meaning of words. So sometimes in the writing, we need to know the meaning of the words to describe as an alternative. Remember, in the writing, you got two reasons to cover up. Two for your opinion. Each one and two. So sometimes we don't have to use the words as it's mentioned. For example, life imprisonment or an antisocial behavior order. Now, we got the meaning of it, and we describe the meaning. For example, we wrote this one in the first paragraph. But in the second paragraph, in the second passage, not count body, what we call it the active body, we're going to go, for example, by C. An order given by the court telling someone not to go to certain places to see particular people because they have behaved antisocial. Now, this one we can take it as a description in the second paragraph. Now, such tricks of writing an essay and opinion essay is useful. The reason why, first, remember, you have the time frame. The time is your first enemy in IELTS exam. And the second one is your vocab level. Sometimes what we face in the writing is what you call it as shrinking stress, or the moment that you can't write anything, no ideas whatsoever. Your mind stops, freeze. Now, what happened here, try to go back of the first paragraph. And like what we saw there, like an antisocial behavior order. And we go back and describe this meaning of this word. So when you describe it, it's actually you'll continue the paragraph, cover up as much words as possible, of course, in the limit of 250 words. But afterwards, you will carry on with description of the next level, the second opinion. So I want you, for example, to understand the meaning of the words. I will explain one by one. A fine. This means a money that that you have to pay as a form of punishment. A life imprisonment. Okay? What do you think it is? It's the highest for life. You know, you are in jail for life. It's the highest. Okay. If we go an antisocial behavior. If we go an antisocial behavior. An antisocial behavior is C. What about if we go to 4? What about if we go to 4? Capital punishment. Who can give me what is mean of capital punishment here? What is the meaning of capital punishment here? Okay. Let me ask you something. What is the difference between life imprisonment and capital punishment? Now that is the thing that we are dealing. All the time there is a details between life imprisonment for life, but there is no death penalty. While capital punishment is the highest punishment of the court, is death penalty, execution. So this is the capital punishment. What about corporate punishment? Which is already his answer is A. What about community service? Community service is E. Working without pay or to repay society. What about a prison sentence? Everything is a prison sentence here. So, curfew order is actually what describing here is in D, which is a punishment which tells someone to by law when they have to stay or to be in their home. Here, of course, the English word we have considered as a punishment, but during the crisis now, actually is needed to keep the society healthy without any infections. This is what happened. Now, if we go for more discussion about it, if we go for more discuss about it, and we go for building a sequence of details. Let's go for spotlight, or what we call the key language. Okay? Now I want you to take a look. I want you to take a look here. A father of 3 was sentenced to 5 years. Imprisonment today after he was found guilty. Look, of a string of confess. Now, possibly we are using here again article. Remember, we studied the article. We are using the article here. Okay? So, who can tell me how many articles are there? As I see, there are some answers. I hope there are some answers. We are still waiting. Well, as we see, there are many articles which mention in the spotlight in the passage. Now, if we're going to discuss with them and see that how it's work and how it's influenced, and we will go for more specific details. If you see here, we are using some word with the word crime. As you see, for example, a father of 3, it means a father with father of 3 kids, sentenced to 5 years. Now, when you look at this here, we have some verb phrases. We use it with a crime. And we have adjectives, and adjective phrases use it with a crime also. And we have crime plus noun. So let's take a guess. Let's take a guess. One of the vocabs and plus we are using with such technique words in essay is, for example, omit. But one M is different from two M, double M. So we got verb slash verb phrases plus crime. So what we should put here in the first one, what we should put in the first line. Who can give me an answer? Come on, carry on. I want to know some answers here. What is the word, a verb, or a verb phrase that we use it with a crime that complete the sentence meaning? Well, correct. Gökhan, wonderful. Gökhan, back to the field again. Welcome back, Gökhan. Welcome back, my friend. So, commit and fight. That's correct. Okay, third word. What is the third word? Come on, try to think about it. What do you think? Okay, some of them I receive in a private text as jackal, but it's not jackal. Okay, what is it? Tackle. Nisa Noor, wonderful. Thank you, Nisa. Thank you. Wonderful. By the way, I'm teaching you this. It's some technique. I will tell you where we use it in essay after we finish this task. Okay. What do we put in number 4? What do we put in number 4 here? Gökhan, come on, show me your muscles. Come on. Anyone? It's the most easiest one ever. Come on. What do you think it is? Nisa Noor, wonderful. It's actually turn to. Turn to. Wonderful. Okay. Now number 5. The level of. Now number 5, the level of. What do we put here with UT? Okay, I don't know your name. I don't read it. It's but cut. Yes. Thank you so much. Wonderful. By the way, let me tell you something about. It's an historical fact in the United States. UT, you know, at the level is a slang language based on a Greek language, which is the old Indian language or native Indians in the United States. You know, at the level, it's mean work hard. So sometimes when you are in the States, or for example in New York or in California, basically in New York, you will not hear that. But when you go outward more to the north side, Alaska, you will see at the level. And at the levels mean work hard in order form. So it just will help you out, folks, some information, extra information here. At, it's mean hard. The level is mean work hard. At the level, work hard in native language or the Native Americans. So basically, for example, from New York and the East Coast, we don't use it, but in the West and North side, you can hear the slingshot. You know, many people they use at the level, or adale. This mean work hard, which mean UT. But here, of course, it's here is being cut. Now, welcome, Roni. I can see your name, but it's written in different language, that's why. Welcome to the board, Roni. Welcome to the board. Okay, now let's go for the next one. Let's go for the next one. A life of. A life of. What do you think? What do you put here? Come on, I want to use your, What do you put here in the next one? Live. Roni, wonderful. Wonderful, Roni. So, folks, we got a new Roni in the club. She's carrying on with the pushing. That's good. Okay. So, let's see. The context here is going to be the winner. So, let's go for revent. I think it's easy, folks. It's very easy. Come on. Who will be the first? What is the word we use it here? Revent. Prevent. Go Cap. Go Cap, yes. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Go Cap. Thank you so much. Okay. Prevent. Okay. What is the word that we use here again? Oh. It's easy to pronounce it even. Come on. Solve. Correct. Okay. Let's go more a bit, adjective form. Adjective form. Okay, by the way, let me tell you something. All these words, I want you to write it down because we use it with the crime. And it's give different concept, like commit crime, to do crime. Fight a crime, against it. Tackle the crime is different meaning. Turn to crime, it's mean check the crime. Cut the level, investigate deeply in the crime. And so on. It's give you another meanings, so we use it in essay. And it's like an opinion of essay. So second one is Nisanur, wonderful, rising. Second one. What are we going to put here? Come on. What are we going to put here? Falling. Wonderful. Falling. Okay. By the way, if we put following crime, what is the meaning of following crime? Okay, rising crime is situation. Following crime. What is the meaning of following crime? Who can write it to me here in the group chat? Who can write it down? What is the meaning of following crime here? Serious, wonderful, wonderful. But still, I'm asking about following crime. What is the meaning of following crime here? Still, no answer. Yes? Well, some of us, there are two different accents. Nisanur, correct, wonderful, wonderful. A crime drop, correct. But remember one thing, Nisanur, and everyone. Okay, that's wonderful. Everyone is wonderful. Now, we got two pronunciations for this word. First, we're going to go following crime based on a UK accent or New Zealand accent. And we got following crime with a bit stress, which you use it us in, like in a part of the States and Canadian side, we all the time use stress sound in the middle of double letters like L. So we don't say falling, it's a falling crime. So, but in increasing the sound. So how we can pronounce it correctly. There are two accents actually, and just I express how we pronounce it in both ways. Following crime and following crime is always the same words. Okay. Let's go for This one. You see it in the screen. What do you think? What do you think? What is the word that we are using the most here? Something with a crime. With a bit of a humanitarian side. What do you think? What is the word that we use it? Pity. Island. Wonderful. Pity crime. Pity crime. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay. Now, what about the next word? What about the next word? Should I go back to my Brooklyn accent? What about the next word? Carry on with the next level. What is the next word? Come on, carry on. So what is the next word? Come on. Let me see. Violet, correct, wonderful. Okay, wonderful. Okay, now something motivated. Something motivated. What do you think? Correct, correct. Rationally motivated crime. Rationally motivated crime. Correct. Wonderful, wonderful, correct. Now let's go for here. Now here we're going to go crime and the noun. It's the opposite. This was the intention of the crime. But now identify the crime. So what do you think? Yes, Ronnie, I hate it also. It's not good. We all hate it. Well, island, wonderful. Dilara, wonderful. Thank you. Victim. Okay. Now, second one. What do you think? What do you think? Something we do measurement. Okay, Island, how we can do crime date? No. Crime hate? No. Something with measurement, measurement, measurement. Crime rate. Crime rate. Measurement. Crime rate. Yes. Measurement rate. And the second one, figures. Correct. Figures. Correct. And the last one. What is the last one? What is the last one? It's a bit tricky though. Even the meaning is tricky. What do you think it is? Roni, wave. Wonderful, Roni. Wonderful. You give a shot. You give a shot. Wonderful. Wonderful, mate. It's a crime wave, not crime save. You're going to save the crime, folks? Come on, the meaning is a bit awkward. Crime save. You're not going to save the crime. It's a crime wave. So, wonderful. So we got the concept how you understand the meaning. So, how things will work out now. Let's go on opposite side. Now, what we done here, we are just doing this. Get the words meaning, get the ideas. Now, let's implement the meaning of the words in the second passage, which is, it's here. Now, we will match the words with here. We will match it here with here. Okay? Now, we got like minor offenses. It's a petty crimes. Already I sorted out for you. Okay? Now let's go for second one, which is reduce crime. What do you think? Dilara, I will answer you now. What is the meaning of what exactly? Meaning of what? Dilara, she asking what is the meaning of what, and I will reply. Reduce crime. Come on. Yeah, everyone go for falling apart, but it's not. It's not what we are talking about. Reduce, to investigate more. Okay, Dilara asking what is the meaning of crime wave? Yes? Crime wave is a bit like, we use it like in a slingshot words. It's mean, let's put it this way. Imagine you live in an area, I will simplify it for you, and suddenly there is a neighboring area. There are some thieves and there are some racial crimes there, and they start moving to your city, to your area. So this wave is coming to your city. So this, what is the meaning of it? It's actually moving or transferring or migrate to other city. Yes, I already answered that, Ronnie. Thank you. So, now the second one, reduce crime. Yes, reduce is when we go down. But how we can reduce crime? By investigate the crime, right? So what is the meaning here? Is not actually, what do you call it, before following crime. No, cut the level of crime. Investigate and reduce the crime. Because we're not talking about reducing rate of crime, reduce the crime. So cutting it is mean cut the level of crime. Cut the level of crime. Like the previous word, we're in cut the level of. Here we are using. Okay, let's go level of crime. I think this is easy. Come on, folks. That's so easy. What do you think? What is levels of crime? Ronnie, correct. The rate. Okay, Dilara is asking, but I cannot understand the way doing with the crime. Well, let me tell you something. Okay. Let's put it this way. Dilara, let's say you are from Auckland, New Zealand. Let's put it this example. And your area is so clear that there is nothing there, really nothing there. And suddenly, there is a migrant coming from Jackbock. It's another city in New Zealand, Jackbock. Where is this very high level of crime rate? So one of the migrants moved to your city, to Auckland. And while it's moving to your city, of course, thief is a thief. They start activating their, ways. So he can bring his friends, and the friends bring their friends, and the wave was moving to the city. So what we call it, this is crime wave. And the wave is migrate from city to another. So, for example, in NYPD, and for example, I got some friends in NYPD in New York, and when I talk to them, and they say, no, it's not like local, it's a crime wave from Chicago, or from Michigan, or from Illinois. They will say the word, it's a crime wave from Illinois, not from here. Like, maybe like 3 weeks ago, I was talking to Dave, and while we are chatting, he said, we got a situation, we got like a wave from Philly. Anton, what's going on? He said, we don't know, some migrants wave from Philly. And what he meant here is a crime wave. So it's not from the local, it's from outsiders. This is the meaning of the crime wave. So I hope you understand. Okay, now level of crime, yes, crime rate, correct. Now try to stop crime which is already exists. Look here. This is not to stop the crime before it's happening. It's already exists. What do you think? You're welcome, Dilara. You're welcome. What do you think? There is two kinds. There is a crime before it's happened, and there is a crime already in a process. Try to stop crime, not to solve a crime. To stop crime. To solve already the crime is happened and it's over, and you try to solve the case. But you try to stop the crime which already exists. What do you think it is? Tackle it, correct. Ronnie, wonderful. Tackle the crime. It means to stop up something in a process. So remember the word tackle the crime here. It's very important. Tackle something is you stop something while it's in a process. Remember, the word tackle is actually you stop something before it's gonna over and during its process. So tackle the crime. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So also we have another word because here we are talking about the crime. We can say fight crime, possible, but more accurate, tackle the crime. Okay, tackle it is perfect. Okay, let's go for the next one. Start committing crime. Start committing crime. Which word we use it here? Start committing crime. What is we are using here? Something like, you know, you start to, something you move to, or what? It's here in the words, what I see it in the screen. What do you think? Come on, Ronnie, Gökhan, Dilara, anyone, come on. I need you to active, super active, come on. What do you think? Ronnie, wonderful, turn to, wonderful, turn to, it means change, turn to, wonderful, perfect. That's absolutely right. Okay, let's go for the second one. Try to stop possible future crime. Now this is a crime before it's happened. Crime before it's happened, not during happening. Now this the answer is prevent crime. Here, prevent. Here the word prevent. So remember, prevent, you prevent something from happening because it's not happening yet. Tackle and fight, it's in the process. Remember this, please. Wonderful. Okay, now let's go in increasing crimes. What do you think about an increase in crime? Rising, Ronnie, wonderful. Rising crime, wonderful, wonderful. Now the last one, you know, the rate or the stats about crime. What do you think? Now this was, I'll give you hints about it. We just discussed about it, the meaning of the word. We just now discussed, we just now explained the meaning. Okay, Ronnie said rate level, possible. No, I need more accurate. Just now I was explaining the meaning of the word, just now. What do you think? Come on, one of you, Ronnie, Dilara, Gökhan, anyone. Come on, show me. Yeah, possible we are using figures, of course, but what is it? Not figure the crime, no. No. I will give you the answer, folks. It's crime wave. Just now we discussed with Dilara about crime wave, and I say when they're increasing the crime coming from another city, but it's figures and numbers. How they calculate it is by rate the crime which has come from city and outside the city. So what we call it also crime wave. Crime wave is actually also what we call status of the crime in the city, and we can figure out the crime if it's local, all the criminals are from another city, or all the details. So what we call it this one, crime wave, or by the way, also we use it, as Gökhan said, is also figures, some of them, if we are explain it as a numbers. So the last one we are using, like, let's put it this way, double meaning. Figures we use only numbers, and wave to describe the figures and the situation. So we got both answers are correct. So it's wonderful to work with you folks, really wonderful. Okay, let's go for a bit more advanced. Let's go more advanced. About, you know, make, let, allow, and such stuff. And we go for some skill technique. Okay? We will go through some skills technique here. Okay? So first, let me just put you in the right sentences here. 1 second. Okay. Now we're back here, as models say, in opinion. And usually there is a template. And guys, I'll teach you now in the few seconds, actually not seconds, minutes. I'm going to teach you some templates technique here. So first, you should spend more than 40 minutes in this task and write about the following topic: present, the past, punishment, criminal, and discuss about it. Let's put it as an example in IELTS exam. Okay? Give reason for your answer and write 250 words. Now look to the example. Look to the example. The opinion and argument. Remember, all the time when we're using opinion, there are arguments with the opinion here. So when we took the words, the meaning of words, you have to repeat it as an argument against the opinion and make the balance between them. So how things will work here, I will put it up here a bit. You see it now correctly, right? Now, look here. These days, every time you turn on the television or flick through pages of a newspaper, okay, what does mean a flick through? Flick through is you turn pages and check on them. That's the meaning of the word. You learn about victims of crime. Okay, this is as introduction we are using. We are just using as introduction here. Now, basically, when we are using the introduction technique, I will give you the template. Now we're going to work with the template here. First, we put the introduction part here. This is the introduction part. After we're going to use the bridge, first bridge, we're going to use firstly, life in jail for is far too comfortable for a prisoner, for example. So you put the condition first, as first. You start with the details. So remember, So you're asking the reader to analyze it with you. And this is what we call it interactive writing, even academic form. Is very important for IELTS to go through interactive writing. So when you go for question mark here, and after that you can go for, when you finish the introduction, you have to go firstly and start. And after that, when you go after firstly, try to describe it in another words, another meaning, but the same. The reason why is because you want to spend more words, but in short time. Remember this. You want to spend more words in a short time. So basically, you will use firstly, and after that we will go for in other words, and I put it here. We will describe it again, but we will describe it in another way. So you spend more words here. And you complete it by the dot. Remember. Next lesson, I hope we're going to, we will discuss about punctuations and details of the articles. Afterwards, when you describe, this is what we call it, calm body. The calm body technique, which is asking about the problems that we are facing. And afterward, we will discuss about the solution and the reasons. So here you will put your conflict idea, the argument, like here. We put the argument here. So first, we will put your opinion. And afterwards, we will put the argument here. So we're going to go, another reason why I disagree, this one. But you put the idea here. And afterwards, you stop. Let me tell you something. You stop. And afterwards, we will put it in what's more, and I will tell you exactly use, in addition to, possible, what's more, possible, okay? To put it through, possible, just put in this template and add the argument here. After what's more, in addition to some detail. Yeah, some people will ask me, we can use moreover, but I'm telling you, moreover is adding to the same identical subject. The reason, some of you will not understand the meaning maybe between moreover and what's more. Moreover is when you are describing the same subject without any argument, no any ideas about it. But when you say what's more, in addition to, you'll put argument. Here, that's the difference. So you got what's more in addition to. And Rani, she said, can we get this template, please? Yes, I will find a way to share it with you folks. Just now, during the lesson, I'll find a way to share it with you folks. By the way, you can take a picture or screenshot of the screen here. And as I explain it, and actually I put it, highlighted the keywords and how to put it in the structure fee, and you can get it basically. It's easy. The template is easy. You just have to remember how to use it. But afterwards, you can write the notes where to use it. Now, in the other hand, now here we have to put absolute argument. Remember, each opinion, it has two examples. And each opinion, it has two arguments. So we get two examples, two arguments. Remember. So if you said agree, it's meaning you have to prove with two examples and two arguments, not one. So the first one, you will put it in what's more, or in addition to, not moreover. Remember, don't use it. And after that, in the other hand, you will describe the absolute argument, the second one. So when you describe the second one, on the other hand, you will put the absolute argument here. And after that, we'll put as a result. Now, here we put as, you know, as a result, or conclusion, or eventually, or, you know, any word can describe the ending of your passage. As a result, in the task 2, all the time there are 2 results. If you want to pass IELTS exactly in wonderful way and more, you know, good score, high level score, I'm telling you, I want you to go for conclusion with 2 results. First, you will see as a result of your report, of your essay. And after that, you go, in my opinion or personally, you'll describe yourself. So you got 2 results here. Like here what I said. As a result, many never reoffended when they are released. And in conclusion, see, I use it again. But here, as a result, is no need to use in conclusion. Sometimes is enough. So here we are using in conclusion and continue. And afterwards, we use personally. I think present should be the last opinion when all else has failed. So you will add your opinion at the last part, what we call it briefing summarizing. So the brief summarizing here we are using to describe something, and you put yourself in the middle. So I will repeat again the template of this passage. How is it? First, you will go through introduction. And the introduction is actually maybe 7 or 8 sentences or maximum 10 sentences. Okay, don't go more than that. Don't go more than the 10 sentence here. Okay, and you have to be careful with punctuations. Be careful with it, especially with the ideas. Don't go for the problem, because otherwise you don't have anything to work with. Remember. Afterwards, you go with firstly. And when you go with firstly, talk about the problems, your opinion about the problems. And after that, describe it in another way, more easy to the reader to understand it. When we put it in other words. After that, when we describe it, and continue, by the way, this is what we call it the active body. We start in the active body process here. And after that, when we start with the active body process here, you will continue till you reach, that's it. We end of the, you know, examples of, your opinion and your idea. Let's go for the argument. When you reach the argument, start here. What's more, start to describe. And put it on the other hand, and put the main argument here. So remember, we got 2 examples, 2 arguments for the opinion. Okay? And when we reach the last step of the essay, as a result. Okay, look, I did not highlight the as a result. I highlight the, I did not highlight in conclusion. I highlight as a result. The reason why, when you go for this, when you write in conclusion, it's appears you are going for more copy and paste situation. But if you go for interactive writing, you will mention as a result of this situation is conclude this result. So afterwards, when we finish the conclusion or the result sequence, we're going to go for your own idea. So basically we can use personally, I think present should be the last option, and carry on with it. And that's it. It's so simple as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me ask you something. If you have any questions, please, you can ask in the next couple minutes. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer your questions about the template of the essay. What are we using in IELTS exam, and what is the technique we cover up. And if you have any ideas, any subjects, we will be happy to help you out, folks, here. You can send an email to Justenglish, and they will get the answer as soon as possible. And by the way, this is one of the templates. We have more than 13 templates for academic writings and tasks too. I hope in the next couple of lessons we're gonna share some other templates with you folks. But it's so easy. It depends on the details that we are using, the bridge that we are using, and important part. Remember, we are using bridges all the time. When you go for skim reading, there are some go for on the other hand, as a result, personally, and you go firstly. In other words, now this is the technique we're using. You are important in essay. Please use bridges and describe the bridges. Well, Ronnie, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. When the time is IELTS registration, well, it still is unknown for us because of the quarantine situation. But I hope things will be cleared up in 7 days from now, and because everything's going to be over till May, I think so. I'm not sure, but it's still like no clue about it, to be honest. Thank you, Dilara. You're also a great student. Thank you so much. And again, before I end up the lesson, I will tell you some more important about essay. More important stuff. And the most important part in essay, even though if you have a problem here in introduction, and in your opinion, your argument is the most important part in the essay. Your argument is the most important part. So, for example, look, we don't use here, we did not use any slang word, but here, what's more, petty criminals. We identify kind of criminals as an argument. Here also, we are using also some details. For example, more complex sentence. So when we are using more complex sentence in the argument section, trust me, your score is going to go up like that. So you don't have to worry about the mistakes that you done in introduction, because you cover up in arguments. And important part, before you go for conclusion, write it as a result of and continue in conclusion. Okay? So remember this, and I wish everyone to be safe and sound. Stay safe. And if you have any questions, Justenglish available, by the way, and it's wonderful to give you answers. Stay safe. And, don't go outside. Try to stay at home, indoors. And all the procedures of healthcare, please do it. And remember, safety first. On the other hand, even if we are, in stress and depression because of the quarantine situation, but still, as a result, and I use it, look, I use it as an argument here, and as a result, safety first. And personally, see, I use again as a paragraph. Personally, I think is the best, time for reset self. Sometimes, because of the planning and everything around us in the daily life, you need the time to reset self. It's a good chance for us to reset self, and good chance for you to study. So, I wish you all good luck. Have a wonderful day, and stay safe. Goodbye.